Today I'm here with Marist track and field captain Jeremy Mooney. Jeremy, what attracted you to the Marist track and field program?
I would say, I never ran track in high school, so my coaches in high school for soccer encouraged me to reach out to Marist and all the other schools I was applying to, and that's how I got into it.
Mm-hmm. And was the adjustment to college track difficult for you?
Yeah, it was tough just because, even in soccer, you don't need that much endurance, so kind of the endurance training, the workouts, kind of treating your body right. It's a big adjustment to high school.
And your junior year saw you take a big leap in terms of finishes and record times. What led you to taking that next step?
I guess coming off my freshman season and sophomore season, I kind of put in a little more work. I was able to see kind of how to get faster and kind of how to treat my body right, and that kind of influenced me to do better.
And you broke the school record for the 100-meter dash in back-to-back weeks last season, with one of those meets being the IC4A championships. What was that moment like?
It was big. I mean, Marist never had anybody from a sprint event on the boys' side go to those meets, so I knew I had to kind of show out and kind of put on for Marist.
Yeah. And do you feel any added pressure following those big meets where you break records?
Definitely. Every meet, I usually expect a PR, get a personal best, and then those meets that I don't, I kind of get, it's added pressure. Just like, what did I do wrong? It's definitely a mental thing, a mental battle at times.
What are the ways you look to cope with that stress of, being a track athlete? Do you have any methods that you use before a meet to get yourself in the zone?
Definitely weeks before the meets, I'll start preparing for what's gonna happen. Tell myself I'm only there for 2 races, I'm only there for a little bit of time. It takes a lot of mental preparation for me especially.
And do your coaches or teammates or even your parents play a role in that, calming the nerves down?
Definitely my teammates and my parents. I call my mom for every race. She kind of lets me know, you've done this before. Just go out there and do your best. So that definitely puts me at ease.
And you also helped anchor Marist 4x1 relay team to a 5th place finish in the MAC championships. How do you balance competing in both 100-meter dash and the 4x1 relay?
I mean, track is definitely an individual sport, so it's kind of going back to the team balance of soccer, learning how to work with a team, kind of understand your team, and a lot goes behind that. So definitely being patient and kind of don't anticipate things, but rather just stick to the routine. So definitely, yeah.
And this season, you have been named a captain for the 2nd year in a row. What does it mean to you to be named captain?
It's big. It's definitely big. I'm the only captain on the men's sprint side, so I've definitely built a relationship with a lot of the guys early on, and they think that they can definitely come to me for things outside of track. So just being that kind of bigger person it's helped me too.
What added responsibilities do you have as a captain?
Just in terms of kind of keeping the team together, being on top of everybody, even the girls' side, staying on top of things, making sure everyone's at workouts, making sure everyone's completing the workouts if they need more time, stuff like that, and then especially being an advocate in between, the team and the coaches. I kind of play roles, bring what they say to the coaches. So.
And I've heard that you've been doing MMA training with the Vienna Bros Fight Club. What led you to start this?
Definitely just my love for MMA, watching UFC on TV, listening to the backstories of some of my favorite fighters. Some of them started off as, college athletes, high school athletes, and then just me to jump to MMA and learning why they did it kind of gave me a reason to do it as well.
Yeah. And how has your experience training with them been?
Good. Definitely teaching me a lot of discipline, endurance, mental. Like I was saying with track, the mental game is tough, so that's definitely strengthened that a lot.
What training does it consist of there? What do you work on when you're there?
I mean, in the MMA gym, typically they try and break you mentally as soon as you get in there. So they put you against the smallest, most experienced guys. So even if you're a big, strong guy, you're humbled immediately. So that humility is a big part in there. That's definitely been a big factor for me also.
Are you looking to pursue this moving forward?
I hope so. Whether it's during college or after college, I want to definitely stick with it in terms of jiu-jitsu and MMA, get better.
How do you handle being a Division I athlete and competing in your MMA training?
It's big. I mean, it's a lot not wanting to get hurt. So there's that added pressure of being cautious, but also trying to give it 100%. So my coaches on both sides know what I'm doing, and they definitely just work around that in terms of workouts, training, sparring, trying to make sure I don't get hurt.
Yeah, and going off of that, do your track coaches have a problem with you doing this MMA training, or is it
Honestly,
pretty much understandable?
It's understandable. Yeah. I mean, they had a bigger problem with me playing intramural soccer, because they know it's more of a contained environment. I'm around people who know what they're doing, who will break it up.
Yeah, and I've also heard that you love UFC fighter Israel Adesanya. So how has he inspired you in your athletic career?
Definitely, and he's one of the most inspirational. He's to me, he's the Ronaldo of UFC. So just listening to his motivational speeches. He's Nigerian, I'm Nigerian. Just watching how his family brought him up is very similar to mine. Kind of, their aspirations for him are a lot like my parents. So it's big.
And then finally, what are your goals for the upcoming season?
break all my records outdoor, and then indoor I'm coming for those indoor records as well. So just been training.
And then thank you for your time.
Thank you, bro.
Good.